Hello, this is Carissa,
And Daryl.
and we're back on Let's Talk. And this time we're going to go over Mandela Effect, as we said before. So we're excited to dive right in. A Mandela Effect is a widespread of memories that a large number of people or a group of individuals believe. They may be harmless but can support conspiracy theories, political agendas, whatever. Memory is not a perfect recording, apparently, according to the internet, of the events that happen and can change with time and the practice of priming. Well, honestly, Mandela Effect is just a large amount of a group of people have a specific memory and other people have a different memory. And the Mandela Effect is something changes over time, varies of where a very large amount of people remember something specific. So we're going to go over examples of that to where it makes more sense. Basically, people think it's a phenomenon or a false collective memory. The Mandela Effect may refer to the Mandela Effect album, I guess. I'm not sure. I think that we are right on the right page. Like, we'll go right in and I will have Daryl start.
So the first Mandela effect I wanted to talk about that I felt like was pretty big was the Fruit of the Loom, when it had the basket behind it, and now all of a sudden it doesn't have the basket behind it. That was one of those Mandela effects with growing up in the 90s. I literally bought Fruit of the Loom's underwear and remember the basket vividly being on it. And there's been tons of people that have came out and said that it's always had a basket behind it. It's never been like that. One other one for the 90s generation would be Captain Crunch. Captain Crunch used to have Captain spelled all the way out, and now it's CAP apostrophe N.
Also, if you want to, you should go and Google this stuff yourself because, like, some of it we can't even believe that it's saying it's different. Because me and Daryl have the same memories and recall these being different than they're saying. There's a ton.
And also one would be Looney Tunes, where Looney is spelled out and Tunes is spelled Tuns, and in some locations or memories that we may have, it's spelled Toons. So for some people that grew up, maybe growing up in this generation are seeing it that way, but from the past, it was always spelled Tunes.
There's one of the Monopoly man wearing a monocle because it complements his old-fashioned Sarchel stylist. They're saying that he did not have the monocle, which is crazy because we all remember it that way. Saying Mr. Peanut was the one who had the monocle rather than the Monopoly man. Or the Pikachu having a black tip on his tail because his ears also have black tips. And also saying that Pikachu did not have a lightning bolt shaped black tail or black tip tail. I don't know. That one is just nuts.
Definitely as a Pokemon fan, that one is crazy. Most people that have followed Pokemon since it started, we all know what Pikachu's tail looked like. It was always lightning bolt shaped with a black tip. It's never been different.
Here's a couple other ones that I was getting a kick out of, and I'm going to read this in real time. It says people have misremembered the Fruit Loops, which is FROOTLOOPS, serial name as Fruit Loops, FRUITLOOPS. I'm sorry, but it's never been FROOTLOOPS. It's always been regular Fruit Loops. So if you go and Google that as well of the images of the cereal box, you will be completely floored. There is Febreze being spelled different. As we remember Febreze being spelled, it was Febreeze. And they're saying it has always been Febreze. Skechers, the shoes. This is an interesting one. Skechers, as in Skechers, is how we remember it. People are saying it is Sketchers. And
You also have Oscar Mayer Wieners, which is spelled with an A, which to me says mayor. The one that it's correctly spelled is Oscar Mayer, which is Meyer, which is another one that I feel all of us ate hot dogs when we were little. So it's kind of one of those ones where it's kind of far fetched to me that it would just change out of nowhere.
yeah, it's just people. There's a bunch of stuff. It is crazy on how many there is. There is. I think that we're talking about how CERN could be intertwined with this when they played with CERN, and when they do that. And if you are curious about CERN, go ahead and Google it. That is a whole nother conversation. If you have TikTok, even just put it in TikTok. CERN is just like a whole nother thing that they think as soon as they light up CERN, and it usually happens in April, that it creates Mandela effects because it changes time. It's like a particle, what is it called? A particle accelerator. So in turn, they try to find the God particle. And when they do that, they open a black hole, which changes things in our timeline. Interesting to definitely research on your own because it is a whole other conversation. And if you want us to go into that, we sure can. We could do the research in real time as we're talking to you. So the Jiffy peanut butter, that's one too. It says a collective misremembered of a specific fact in a bit. So they said that the Jiffy peanut butter label was never Jiffy. It has always been JIF. I don't remember that even changing. So yeah, there's a ton.
There's also the beginning of the Nelson Mandela effect. Well, Nelson Mandela himself, which theory is that he died in the 1980s in prison, but now there's people saying that he died in 2013. So that's where the effect kind of came from. Is most people thought that he died in prison, and then he actually didn't die in prison. He died in 2013, which is weird. Definitely one of those things that you look at it and you're a little like, what? But you also have the one with Mickey Mouse, which all of us know who Mickey Mouse is, where his suspenders are gone. I don't know about you, but for the most part of my life, Mickey Mouse had suspenders. So for that to just go away is very weird. He's been the suspender guy.
Sorry, we're just doing research definitely in real time. It says, okay, so I'm pretty sure Daryl went over the Looney Tunes. There is the Bernstein Bears. That one's a good one. So they're saying that the Bernstein Bears was spelled Bernstein, and we remember it being the Brenstein Bears. Books, if you go and look, super interesting. There's tons and tons and tons of them, which is just crazy. I'm going to pass it over to Daryl, and he'll be able to tell you some more.
For any Star Wars fans, there's C-3PO having a silver leg. Most of the time, I was pretty sure he was on gold. You have the Flintstones. Before it was spelled with no T, and now it's spelled with a T. Luke, I am your father. We all know how that went. There's no way that one could change, like, ever. We all experience like that. Just like life is like a box of chocolates. They're saying something that's completely different. Shazam was also a movie where the comedian Sinbad played the genie, and people are starting to now say it was the movie Kazam. That was starring Shaquille O'Neal, which I'm pretty sure we all know that was Sinbad too. I mean, it's what it is. They're trying to say that what's Snow White was there with the seven dwarfs, and she said, "Magic mirror on the wall." When it was mirror, mirror on the wall.
Here's another one. It says the Flintstones. Yeah. Our favorite Stone Age family from Bedrock has two T's in their name. They've been called the Flintstones. It makes sense the more you think about it. Flint is kind of a sedimentary rock. That's true. But still, never remember it being called Flintstones. It's the Flintstones. Mickey Mouse. Walt Disney flagship characters have first appearance in 1928 animated short Steamboat. Willie had Mickey Mouse steering the helm. The only thing he's wearing, a pair of shorts. Mickey Mouse didn't wear suspenders and then doesn't now. So I remember him wearing suspenders with his shorts. That I do remember, and to say that otherwise, I mean, but the thing about the Mandela Effect is there's going to be about 50% of people who remember it one way, and 50% of the other people remember it the other way. And for some reason, you know, they say those are the people that didn't get to jump the timeline correctly. So, people who remember things the other way didn't jump the timeline when CERN did. Smokey the Bear. Okay, this is an interesting one. His name isn't Smokey the Bear. It's Smokey Bear. No. We all. I mean, if you were an elementary kid growing up, you know you had to do the fire training with Smokey the Bear, not Smokey Bear. That's ridiculous.
So there's been some pretty ridiculous Mandela effects throughout this conversation we've been having, more than we could actually count when it comes to the Mandela effect. I believe personally that it could be something dealing with CERN, like she was saying, some of us jumping ahead of the timeline, some of us staying in the present, but the memories we have stay there. It's a very weird thing, which we didn't see a lot of as we were growing up that we're starting to see now. It's one of those things that's just made some people believe, and some people say that it's always been that way. I'm more on the side that most of these things have changed, and I don't know why. With Fruit of the Loom, losing the basket, Fruit Loops, the Mickey Mouse suspenders. We can even go to the start of it with Nelson Mandela's death. Some of people were dying in the 80s in prison, and some people remember dying in 2013. And nobody could ever figure out which is which. Because he's supposed to spend 27 years in jail. And so, where are we going to go with this? And how does it keep happening? Because it's not stopping. There's many things that continue to change as we're going down the road. So we're going to continue to watch the Mandela effects, discuss them, see what some people remember, and see what some people don't. It's going to get very, very weird if it continues to happen. Because some things that are really important to our childhood are being affected.
Oh, yeah. So there is one about the guy who was on Price is Right. For some reason, I cannot remember his name. There's a Mandela effect about him, too. We'll go over that. But I'll get back to it. There is okay, so it's Bob Barker. Yes, okay. 1 second, sorry. Okay, so they say Bob Barker died, but he didn't die. So Bob Barker was one of the most Mandela effect things ever. They were saying that he passed away when he did not. So everybody remembers that Bob Barker passed away, had been sworn to pass away 20 years ago. And that's not true because he passed away on the game show host of 35 years, died August 26th at 99. Let's see what year he died. Sorry, it got quiet in here. I'm just trying to find the year that he died. Now, some people are going to know these way better than me and Daryl. We're just trying to bring awareness to him and have a good conversation about it. It says that he's still living. So that's interesting. Oh, but that don't make sense. He's got to be really old. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, no, he did. He died in 2023, August 26th of 2023. He was born December 12th of 1923. And I remember they said he died in 2007.